Oh, I was. I think everyone should try it a couple of times in their life. I was married in my 20s. We're still very good friends. I was divorced when I was 30. We were together a total of 7 years, only married two. But it was, and it's funny to say this to you right now because this has just really started to hit me as I've been doing more interviews and putting myself back out there again and getting different style questions because now that I've opened up my range so much, I do my sports radio. I also have gotten really involved with a lot of charity work. So people are asking me different questions and I'm realizing like, okay, I've had one relationship in my whole life and it was, we got married. It was 7 years total. Divorced when I'm 30. I have never lived with another guy. I am 46 years old right now. So clearly it's not something I'm striving for because so many of my other friends have tried it so many more times. They've lived with other people. And I'm just like, I'm not opposed, right? But I like my life the way that it is. And some people, if it works for you and it's not something that's sending you on this like quest of like, oh my God, I have to be in a relationship, then it's not broken. Don't fix it. I do sports radio for Sirius XM. The channel is Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio. It's Sirius 210 XM 87. I do shows Sunday and Monday nights. I cover everything from fantasy baseball, fantasy football, and fantasy basketball, and soon to be really honing the craft of understanding everything I'm going to need to know about the future and betting because this is going to be what we're talking about in the very near future, state by state legalizing sports betting. So I'm kind of learning the lingo by listening to some other shows right now and how they talk about things, how they word things. And then we're going to have to learn what we're presenting, because there's going to, of course, be legal issues and concerns. You can't tell somebody to go put money on this game. So you have to explain why you would think this would be, a good lean or why you would do that. So that's my Sunday and Monday nights. All this is kind of formulated into this new grind that has just made me start kind of in a very basic ground level and build my own new little venture. It's a great escape for me. It's a great balance. So I'm not so consumed with Lisa Ann. Being a porn star, being an entertainer, being anything where you're constantly on social media and you're constantly in demand and people are constantly asking you for things and you have to find space where it's not about you. And that's what fantasy sports is for me. There's not a lot of people that are successful in the business that stay and continue to work to make the business better. I feel like it's kind of one of these resting places where people come and they make their money and then they go, or they come and they realize it's not for them. It's a very much it's bouncing a lot, right?
Yeah.
So to keep that a little bit more steady and to have my kind of fingers on the pulse, it's not really as much about me as it is about me seeing what's going on in the business, seeing who I should be interacting with, seeing what girls I can help out, what guys I can help out, how I can remind these young entrepreneurs the opportunity that's presented to them by asking them to do things like watch Shark Tank. And after they watch Shark Tank the first time, I say, do you know why I asked you to watch Shark Tank? And they're always like, no, I'm not sure. I'm like, well, listen, all of those people have incredible ideas, but they don't have capital. And right now, you're in a business where you can build capital. And with that said, you have to figure out how you'll utilize the capital in the future. And so I find myself bringing the knowledge that I got working in a new business, starting in the ground up, and bringing it back to the people that I know and love and the new talent that I think needs to be inspired. I do. I have friends that nobody knows about. I have friends that I spend the weekends with. They live in Orange County. We don't post photos on social media. We don't interact really publicly. We really hang out, just chill in their backyard, lay at their pool, or they're up here. That's my privacy. That's my just like I'm just being me. I like to travel a lot, so I'll be able to be myself and just kind of hide out and roam the world a bit. I have just the gym is kind of like my daily kind of private thing where I get my own space where I'm in my own head. So I do make sure that I have these spots where I get a break.
Right?
Not just finished, and it's coming out this weekend. And you guys have an exclusive on
Yes,
the
we do.
22nd. Sometimes I share as a beautiful movie of threesomes, so that's why the title came to me in one of the scenes where I was like, I normally don't share a cop, like I'm normally pretty greedy in that department, and I'm sharing one in this movie, and it kept coming to me, so this is how I come up with the title. And there's four beautifully shot scenes, all shot by Holly Randall. We shot at the ranch, the Randall Ranch, which is this beautiful 32-acre piece of property where you get no noise from neighbors and just nothing but beautiful fresh air. Love the scenes, love the scenarios. Everything was really, Brett Rossi's a horseback rider, so we made sure that her scene was shot right at the stable, right in front of the horses on hay. Totally beautiful. I also made this part of a charity project because it's something I'm trying to integrate into the business a bit. So what I did was I bought the wardrobe for the girls, and I'm auctioning the wardrobe off on My Sexy Auctions. And I print out some photos of the girl in the outfit, and then I meet up with the girl. She signs them. I take some social media photos, and she picks her charity of choice. And then I donate the money to that charity of choice. And it's inspiring the talent to have a new conversation with each other and with me. And I think that's something that it takes no time. It's a positive way for me to get rid of clutter. And it also makes them think, who do they want to give to? Is it a pet rescue? Is it Alzheimer's? Whatever it may be.
Can you tell us which stars? I think you mentioned Brett Rossi, and I think Honey Gold is in the movie.
So Brett Rossi's scene with myself, Brett Rossi, and Ryan Driller. Honey Gold, Prince Joshua, and myself. Why am I drawing a blank? Oh, Gina Valentina and Marcus Dupree and myself. And I love Marcus, and it was my first time working with Gina, and she's amazing. She's fantastic. And then Raven Hart, Ricky Johnson, and myself. It was a first for all of us. None of us had worked with each other separately or together. And Raven Hart was just on Howard Stern this morning, sponsored by me, my company, promoting the movie, which is really exciting because it's JD's bachelor party. So Raven Hart was in there in the studio today, and she got to give some great plugs for the release of Sometimes I Share. We didn't shoot any of this. I want to start doing that. So Kevin Moore is starting to do that. So I'm going to hire his crew in one of my movies so we can do that. I think a drone would be so ideal for a gangbang because you could get so many incredible angles. But no, Holly shoots with 2 cameras, and she moves around a lot. She does a lot of really incredible things to make sure she's capturing so many different angles. So what I do is my camera, whoever's shooting for me each movie knows my signals, and we have things mapped out. But sometimes when I feel that we're going off the rails, or I in my mind know it's not a good angle, what I do is I turn my back to the camera for long enough in a good position that there's a good way we can do a cutaway and we can re-edit it easily. And once my back is completely to the camera and I know there's a good 3 seconds there, I'll say cut. So it has to become this thing where your eye in the back of your head knows the presence of where that camera is. And until you get that, you need to be positioned properly a lot. And it's almost easier to direct as talent for me because I'm in the scene and I can so perfectly move a girl to where I know she's opening up and giving that right angle with it seeming sexual instead of stopping the moment like a regular director has to do, telling everyone's body temperature cools down, the sweat starts to go away, all the things that are so valuable in keeping that passion and that excitement up, they all diminish. Whereas if I'm in there and I can just kind of maybe move her hair because it's blocking her face, pull her shoulder back in a sexy way so she has a better angle on her boob, I can do all of that as like a little dance when I'm in the scene, way easier than when I'm standing in front telling these people what to do. I would
Um,
say hundreds. My rate was always high, so it limited the amount of other talent people wanted to put in the scene with me. So when I started producing my own movies 4 or 5 years ago, I did more 3 ways because I didn't have to pay myself, right? But when you're paying expensive talent, a 3-way scene is very expensive. So I start with the girls first. And then from there, I get their list of their top three performers, like who their favorite people are that they like to work with. And then I look at that list and see who works with me. And then we make this work. I just want everybody that works together to really like each other and to have a successful rapport working together. I don't want to do many experiments. It was interesting with Raven because her and I had never worked together. And I had told her that I wanted to work with Ricky Johnson, and she said, "Oh, I hear nice things about him too. I'd like to work with him too." I said, "Well, do you want to do it together?" So that's how we stumbled upon taking this chance together, and it worked out really well. He's a great performer. I enjoy him, but it's important that everybody they like each other and they want to be spending time together on set. Back for More was my first movie that came out in January. This one right now, and then after this one, sometimes I share, you'll be seeing a once a month release. I can't watch porn to masturbate unless it's like foreign porn and I know nobody.
Yeah.
But I really don't, it's not my thing. I'm not, I kind of have a really good bank up here, and I'm more of a thinker. I'm more about fantasies in my own mind than watching someone else's. And also, I break it down too much because it's a business to me. So I just kind of like things drive me so nuts that I can't get past it. Like, why did they not unplug the lamp, and why did they leave that cord by that receptacle when there's no fucking lamp on? Like things like that just go, and it just drives me nuts. But I will watch scenes if I want to meet some new talent. I'll watch their scenes, and what's funny is I have this process where I pick directors that I really know that I loved working for because I know that they bring out the best in talent, and so I know that I can have that same advantage when I'm treating the talent right, really well on set too, because you'll see the same girl in a scene that's horrible, and if it was the only thing you were judging her by, you'd think she sucked. But really, when I stop for a moment, I'm like, okay, the house was disgustingly dirty. The makeup artist clearly sucked. They put her in hideous wardrobe. Like, I can already see what's broken down the mental state of the girl to make her feel like she should shine. So I'll go to my favorite people and I'll watch the scenes and I'll be like, okay, this is a good performer. I think I could get some beautiful photos. And then I'll also try to discover something new that no one's done with her look. Like Gina Valentina, for example, who shares the box cover with me on Sometimes I Share. I had these little colorful braids put into Gina's hair.
I noticed those.
Yeah, because when you're doing a three-way scene with a lot of hair, you're always blocking. So someone's always got to be holding the hair. And when I watch porn, that's something that irritates me when the guy is holding the girl's hair too tight or doesn't look good. It's like it shows you that you're shooting a scene. It's not organic. So I thought if I could have her hair out of her face right here, her hair is all one length. It'll be easy to push it behind her during the scene. And that was something that no one has really done. With Honey Gold, I realized no one's given her this really fun, neon, bright look. They always make her look super hard, and she really liked it. Like, she kept the earrings. I'm like, you can keep the earrings, but I'm auctioning the outfit off for charity. And I thought that was really fun. It was just a new look for her. It was fresh. It was cute. So I do my research so I can try to give the girl something unique. They do. They do quite often. They do quite often translate. And then there's some where I'm still trying to mastermind how it could work. Because some of them are extremely complicated. And so it's extremely complicated, but I have been trying to mastermind how it can work. But one of the things, I watch a lot of TV shows that have good sex scenes, like that show Insecure on HBO has beautiful sex scenes. Power on Stars Network has amazing sex scenes, and I grab a lot from there, from everything to how they disrobe, because you feel the passion on those shows. Like, I can masturbate to that more than I can masturbate to porn because I don't really need to see the penetration. I just need to feel the passion.
Yeah.
And when you see when you get that intense, they're such good actors because they have to kill this 3-minute segment, on just this buildup, right? And the way it's shot, that took 10 hours because they have all these different angles and they're cutting them all in. And it's so fucking beautiful. But when I feel my heart racing, I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. because it's so believable and it's so passionate. And I think with porn, guy walks in with a hard dick, next thing you know, it's in the girl's mouth or she's fucking him, and where you don't get that with cable. So they have to build up so much more and show you so much more, from the way the girl claws the sheets to what I like. Oh, they would show the toes curling up. Like, I just love all of that. Pretty much every single sex scene on fucking Insecure on HBO and Power.
Yeah.
Those really, really hot, really hot.